Hey, so I want to share with you a concept which is going to make the quantity of happiness in your life bigger. Are you ready to be more happy? I'm not talking about happiness in a bottle. We all know by now that even though search has been going on for years, there is no happiness in any bottle on this earth. Happiness is something within. It's inside you. It's that thing which makes you jump a little bit instead of walking when you're going somewhere. It is that thing that makes you shiver a little bit. You know the feeling, and for sure you want more of that. Now, the concept has a name. The name is Hindsight Window. Now, what is that? It's very simple. You know, you know that there is a moment in time when you feel that everything is going wrong, something bad happens, and you know that usually something is going to happen afterwards that's gonna make you believe about the first thing that actually it was not that bad. You remember, if you want a parallel, you remember high school, teenage love, yes? It was such a disaster, the end of the world when one relationship ended. Just for 2 weeks after that, you would be happy and you wouldn't know how on earth could you have not seen that that was wrong for you and actually today is good for you. Now, that's the hindsight window, the period of time between these two moments. And I think that you can agree with me that the smaller the window, the more quantity of happiness in your life. It's very simple. I mean, the less time you are upset about something, the less time you carry on a bag of negative thoughts or negative feelings, well, the less time, the more happiness. Now, I'm going to give you 3 tools in order to decrease this window. And in order to do that, I want you to think about the time scale. So you have the past, the present, and the future. I know it's very trendy to be living in the present. So we're gonna leave that. This is the cherry on the cake for the end of the film. Until then, we're gonna talk about the easiest way to make the window shorter. And this is, of course, any guess now? It's not the present. Yes, it is the future. Sometimes, only sometimes, you can anticipate something which is going to happen in the future. And the biggest tool that you have there is preparation. You know, I work in marketing and we have the 4 P's there. I'm gonna give you the 5 P's now. You know, proper preparation prevents poor performance. Yes. Let me tell you a little story about preparation. So a few years ago, I have decided that I do not like my blood tests, and because of that, I wanted to increase the quantity of quality and good food in my life. But how to do that? Let me know. Do you know this rule that we do not throw away food? Wow, has this impacted your life at least half of the quantity of impact that had on my life? You know, do not throw away food. If you have kids, you know they're gonna eat 10% of something and you're gonna be left with the rest. You go to the restaurant and they eat one bite and then they want something else. And do not throw away the food in a family where the grandmother and great grandmother brings food in the fridge. How are you gonna throw away all that? So if you've been there, bear with me because I have a solution for that as well. Yeah. So decision taken. I'm gonna get more quality food. I go to the supermarket and I have a list from my wife, and the list says ba-ba-bim, ba-ba-bum, ba-ba-boom, pork chops, steaks, whatever it is. What do I do in that moment? I decide to buy a incredible amount of quantity of green stuff like salad and zucchinis and broccoli and this kind of stuff. I come back home and my wife says, did you bring what I asked you to do, what I asked you to bring? And I say, no, but I have these. They look kind of like this, but it's okay to eat. So a lot of green stuff. Yeah. And she says, what? Did we buy a cow and I didn't know it? Who is going to eat all that? And I'm saying, look, dear, it's us. We are going to eat all that. What do you mean? She says. I mean, yes, this thing, 3-4 days it expires. It's not gonna be good anymore. And I paid money for it, our money for it. And it's not okay to throw away food. So preparation, if you know you're gonna binge on something, you're gonna eat something that's not that good, just make sure you have loads and loads of stuff that is actually good to eat. Now, we remember that small window, big happiness. Future, we can prepare for it, but we all know that if we start to spend too much time preparing for the future, we're never gonna live a happy life. So what happens to things that actually happen and we did not foresee them? Well, they are in the past. So reconciling with the past is going to be the second way to shorten the window. Actually, if something happened then, I need to make peace with that in order to make the window shorter. It's quite logic. But how are we gonna do that? Another story, hear me out. Look, if you are a parent, if you're not a parent, just play along, please. But if you are a parent, have you ever had that feeling that you have done a lousy job one day because of one lousy thing? I mean, you are an okay parent, you go to work, you bring home food, you spend time with your kids, but because one thing, you feel like crap. Have you had that feeling? I did. And that moment in time was for me a moment of, let's say, shortening the window. I'm going to tell you the story. So I was in my 30s and I was speeding up towards in the morning towards the job. Of course, there was a meeting and brand planning and strategy meeting and this kind of stuff. And I was taking my 4-year-old daughter to the kindergarten. Poor thing, poor daughter. So it was one of the first days when she knew how to tie shoes, to do the shoelaces thing. So in the morning, you can imagine, get the coffee, get the backpack, get everything done so that we can move, get out of the house. Have you been there? Have you been there? Let's get everything and just let's go out of the house. It doesn't matter if we are still in pajamas. It doesn't matter if we are still just out of the house, yes? And I say, look, how long is gonna take that shoes thing, in such a hurry? And she's doing some faces which I couldn't tell, I couldn't recognize. So I'm speeding and I'm becoming even more anxious and come on, is it gonna take longer? And at that moment, the kid with tears in her eyes said, Daddy, I am really trying to do it quicker, but this is such a hard thing to do. Wow. Marian, get that in your head. Lucky me, I got that in my head. So I'm really trying to meet the expectations that you set, you son of a... But it's too hard for me. This was my daughter, my heart, my soul. Yeah. Of course, I took her to the kindergarten feeling like crap. And on my way to work, something happened. I just pushed away the meeting and the strategy thing and the brand planning stuff. And I just pulled 5 or 10 minutes to the right side of the road. I mean, right means right, not left. Because in some countries you would pull to the left side of the road and it doesn't matter where you pull, but this is the second tool in order to make your window shorter, because this brings more happiness. Yeah, so it's called a reflection. You're never gonna make peace with your past if you do not take time to reflect upon it, to think about it. Pause. Nothing. Just you and your thoughts. That's what I did that morning. And that morning I said, I'm never ever going to do that again. I'm gonna listen to my daughter. I'm gonna start to meditate, go to the psychotherapist, whatever it takes. And, putting aside a little bit our talk, yes, it happened. But that was the moment when everything started. It was the moment when the window closed. And it allowed me to see the moment that I had in the morning and I felt so crappy about. That moment I saw it as the opportunity to do something better tomorrow, because I took 10 minutes to reflect upon it. Now, you can prepare for the future and you can reflect on the past, but wouldn't it be great if you had something for the present moment? I mean, if you are able to handle it in the present, then the window will not exist, yes? It will just disappear, yeah? So that's the thing. That's the most important thing. And this is again a story with kids, because I love kids, I have kids. And again, if you don't have kids, you can pay attention to the kids which universe brings around you, yeah? So again, morning, I was in my house and I had that moment, that feeling where, wow, whoa, if you really listen to your kids, I mean, kids live in the present, they will teach you, but you have to listen to them. Have you ever had that feeling of, wow, is this coming from a child, from a 3 years old? By the way, this was my second daughter, again 4 or 5 years old, and we were in the house. I was on the laptop, she was on the TV, and because of that, I thought, let's make some conversation. No, yeah. I thought she wants conversation with me, but anyway, she wanted me to be present, yeah? So I say, look, Daddy, on Friday, we are going to the Black Sea. We are going to swim in the sea. Can you feel the sun on your skin? Can you feel the sand beneath your feet? It's gonna be so nice. You're gonna love it. And she looks at me like this and she says, well, Daddy, every day should be the best day of your life. No, you gotta write that down, please. I mean, if nothing from this film, write that down. So every day should be the best day of your life. If you come to the sense and to the present intelligence of a 4-year child, you will have absolutely no window. There will be happiness in the moment. Thank you for watching this.